week 5. This is a short week, as I mentioned in the overview video. So you're going to have really one key task this week, and that is your boundary dispute presentation. So what you're going to do for this assignment is you are actually going to go back to week 4. You're going to take the information that you learned about your particular topic from week 4, and you're going to put it into a presentation. You will have to do a little more of an extension than you did in your original research, and you may be expected, you may need to do some more research. So going back to week 4, you're going to open up this boundary lesson or the border lesson, and you are going to go and back and find your assignment. So let's say you did Catalonia. You're going to open up your Catalonia research assignment. I would open this up, and I would have the information there. But then you are going to go, like I said, back to week 5. And you are going to open up your border dispute or boundary dispute presentation. So you will see a rubric here. It'll tell you exactly what you need to have, as well as you're going to have these slides that you're going to fill in. So it says title of your presentation, so you're going to erase that, and you're going to put, Catalonia border dispute or Somaliland border dispute, and you're going to put your name. Then on the second slide, you're going to give a summary of the conflict. Who was involved? What was the dispute? It should be 4 to 5 sentences long in your own words. If it's not in your own words, if it's just copy and paste from the internet, you will not get credit for these parts. You're then going to give a map of the boundary dispute, so a map of the region of the world. It's also nice, not required, but it's also nice to maybe add like an arrow pointing out where on the map your boundary dispute is. And then a timeline, at least 5 events that led up to the conflict. Then on the slides, the next slides, you're going to say, what are the 2 sides in the conflict and what do they believe? And if there's any relationship to colonialism, like if some of the boundary dispute was related to colonialism, you're going to put that in that box right there. And then this is kind of a new piece. You are going to do a media research slide. You're going to provide one news article link, an image, song, or poem, or video that represents each side of the conflict, plus a summary of what the author, musician, or speaker is saying. I'll give you an example on the example slides. Then you're going to give your recommendations. How do you think this boundary dispute should be solved? Should Catalonia be able to break away from Spain? Should Somaliland be able to break away from Somalia? Or should they stay together? How should this conflict eventually be resolved? And then what sources, you're going to copy and paste the sources that you use. So down below this assignment, you will find an example. The example is from the Troubles or the border conflict of Northern Ireland. As you can open it up and you can see this was created by a teacher. So you can see what the expectations are for each slide. So we have the Troubles, we have our introduction. So we have a good solid introduction slide. Then we have a map as well as a circle. So this teacher put a circle around what region it is, as well as a little caption over here. Then a timeline of the 5 key events. So starting way back in the 1600s all the way to 1998. There are identification slides. So the identification for us will be the 2 sides in the conflict. So this is a little bit different, but then there's a connection to colonialism here. Then the media research slides. So you can do this on 1 or 2 slides. But in this one, she has a picture of a mural that is showing the loyalist perspective. So in Northern Ireland, there's the loyalists and the Republican perspectives. And so she chose examples of 2 murals that are both in Northern Ireland that show the perspectives of either side, and then an explanation of what the picture is showing, and why it is showing the loyalist perspective. If you don't, have a picture, you might find an article or a perspective or a music, or, piece of music or a poem possibly, but you do have to explain, like, how does this, whatever it is, show the perspective of one of the sides, and then once again, another mural here showing the perspective of the other side. And then the recommendation would be, in this case, for the UK to pass laws. So try to be creative about your recommendation. What would be your recommendation? to solve this conflict, and then a source slide at the end. So that is the largest part of the assignment for this week. So that's kind of the main assignment. And then I am going to offer an extra credit assignment. This is a discussion post. So if you would like to continue on and you would like extra credit, you can choose to do this assignment. What you would do is you would start by reviewing this presentation, and it goes through just some things to consider when we look at boundary conflicts. Then it does introduce the United Nations. So the United Nations is a supranational organization, and it includes most countries of the world, and it works to try to resolve conflict between states. So the question that you're going to be asked is, you're going to do some research, 10 to 15 minutes, and you're going to see if the United Nations has been involved in your boundary dispute. And if it hasn't, maybe how has the United Nations been involved in that region of the world? You may want to go back to the Wikipedia website. You may want to just Google. I did a quick Google of like United Nations and Somaliland, and I found a couple articles on the United Nations website showing maybe their involvement or maybe some of the response. How have they been involved? Or have they been involved? Are they currently involved? And do you think they should be involved? Why or why not? You're going to post your response here, and that is a last extra credit piece. So this is all I don't have this in a specific folder, because this is all you have for work this week. Just remember that Monday and Tuesday are the school days, and then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday are conference days. So I will only have office hours Monday and Tuesday of next week. All right, reach out to me if you have any questions.